Sorry.
Sorry.
It's definitely there.
I'm gonna go over this real quick.
Did I know this as Can I go put this up there and hang it? I get this small thing to my hand. Sorry. Listen up. then can we learn how to use like this? This is what complaints take. And put it on some. And wrap it. Take and put it on the monster truck.
Hi, my name is Matthew Mayfield Johnson Jr., and I'm currently fighting a criminal case down in Marion County that be located in Salem, Oregon. I want to go over my court dockets with you guys one more time because it's very important information. My case number is 14C42686. Police report is 14-18889, and I wanted to take you back to my first arraignment date because I posted the videos earlier on in life, but I kind of got a little bit better at this, and I wanted to break down sections of this video with you so you guys understand why I'm fighting so hard, because any and every right that I had have been taken away from me. I've been slandered beyond reason, doubt, and I've been really stressed out, but throughout my stress I've accomplished the goal of sticking with these people mentally, even though my attorney Gail Ryder seems to believe that I lack education, I'm ignorant, my family have more sense than me, things like that nature is what I've been dealing with. And further on in life, when I have my chance to actually speak out, I will be breaking it down further about her misconduct towards me, at me. So here I'm going to press play on this audio transcripts in which I paid from Marion County Courthouse. It's breakdown everything that I've been through from my arraignment on up till September when I couldn't get any more documentation. So I'm going to press play and let you hear how the judge himself is even confused about who I am because of the notes that Roger Gerald Smith had wrote.
Just one file on Johnson.
So I have your own list.
Okay. Here's another file on previous.
Yeah, counsel in another case.
No, that's it. I recognize his name.
Didn't recognize my name. A judge saying that he didn't recognize my name. Matthew Mayfield Johnson. As you can see, they keep saying my name.
If he doesn't have a counsel, then it'll be Carrie Wineland.
I didn't have a counsel when they assigned me Carrie Wineland. May 19th, 2014.
Okay. So the name caught my eye, but it's a different person.
How did the name catch his eye, but it's a different person? So who found was he
Case
really?
led to Carrie Wineland, Your Honor.
Right?
The breakdown is real because they know that they messed up.
Yeah. We acknowledge receipt of the information in 14C46286. Mr. Johnson indicates that he is correctly named. His date of birth is also correct. In the way of any further reading or other advice and rights that seek Mr. Johnson's release.
And which I never got until 22 days later.
We're asking the court to set $50,000 bail. Defendant, according to the reports, is a pimp for his wife. When caught in a hotel room, because his wife is getting hooked, defendant is there with $1,200 on him and oxycodone, 50 plus pills. He has texts that discuss selling drugs. He is a B on the grid with a prior robbery 2 where he went to prison for 70 months and a 2010 unlawful use of a weapon where he went to prison for 20. He was sentenced to 25 months. I'm wondering if he also has a parole hold.
Did you show him charges when you looked them up?
I'm trying to check. I don't show a parole hold. And did you show those charges when you looked them up?
He said he don't know. He said he don't
You
know.
give us the case number from the...
And it could be that his parole is done.
No, my parole is done.
So.
And she knew it, but she still lied to a judge. Right here. She lies to a judge. By reading off
It's a Multnomah County case.
She read it off my case number that was completed of parole.
03069.
And then he reads back a different number. So there's confusion there. Look up Multnomah.
All right.
Mr. Johnson indicates that he has completed his parole.
I asked them what they mean. I'm off of parole. I don't have none of that. And he still set a bail for $50,000, which I end up getting forced out.
Carrie Wineland.
This
is why I'm fighting so hard right here.
Hearing on May 27th with a return to court for arraignment and an indictment issue on May 29th.
I didn't get a preliminary hearing or an indictment. On May 27th, no preliminary hearing and no indictment on the 29th. The DA and my public defender, Carrie Wineland, skipped past that, allowing them to go to a trial without presenting evidence. And I think that's corrupted, if you ask me. So, you know, these people have been making me fight and fight and fight, and I'm fighting with everything I'm got, and I have to make all these videos to put my truth on there. So please follow me as I uncover the corruption. And again, my preliminary hearing rights were stripped from me, and I will be posting information to this video that will show you proof of how they did me. And thank you, and God bless. Again, my name is Matthew Johnson, and I'm going over my court audio transcripts with you because it's important information on there that can help free me of my charges. I like to add that my preliminary hearing rights were stripped away from me through emails from Carrie A. Wineland and District Attorney Douglas C. Hanson. I like to further add that on this court date, Carrie Wineland was so embarrassed that she sent a colleague in to explain to this judge why my preliminary hearing rights was stripped away from me. And I think it was a violation of my constitutional rights, my Sixth Amendment, which states the defendant should have the right to fast and speedy trial. But I later found out that if a defendant waived his right to a preliminary hearing, I allowed to the District Attorney Douglas C. Hanson to proceed with charges on me without having to present his evidence to a grand jury. And that's what he did. He waived my preliminary hearings away from me, stripped them away from me, and surpassed a grand jury. And I'm wondering why he hated me that much to not give me what was earned, my rights. You know, he has rights. Carrie Wineland had rights, you know, and she chose to follow after the corruption of a district attorney who's been falsely accusing God knows how many people. And I want you guys to understand that this is a lawyer that I've never talked to. His name is Mr. Griffith, and he never spoke to me. And he stepped in for Carrie Wineland for whatever reason while she was out. And he spoke a lot things that I didn't know I had, you know, rights that I didn't even know that I was aware of waiving because they never talked to me, you know. And it's a shame that he was brung into this mess because he was lied to and he tried to come and play the role. But this judge, Bennett, was checking him at every angle and he didn't have nothing to say. So I'm wondering, how did they get past each and every one of my court dates?
Since time and place set for Rule 7 in this matter. I have notes from This is a case that Ms. Wineland has been appointed to. She would like to come back on this matter on the 4th day of June at 8:30 a.m. for a Rule 7. She will, Mr. Johnson will continue to waive preliminary hearing until that time. And I would like to note that we've received an offer, a plea offer from the district attorney's office, and we've received some discovery, including a probable cause statement, but we haven't yet received police reports in this matter, so she'll need to review.
And the reason you haven't is because she didn't waive prelim last time. She set it for preliminary hearing, which was supposed to occur on the 27th, and we're supposed to be here today on arraignment. So what's the status of that?
Well, unfortunately,
this may have been a day when Ms. Wineland wasn't here, and we went ahead and said on that she was to contact the DA and take him off if that's what she wanted to do, her and her client. So I know we've done that.
It does look like there's emails in here saying that she was waiving prelim.
Okay.
So.
Emails.
I'm not trying to take a curve. I was just we set preliminary
without
hearing
my
dates.
permission.
So I
Whenever
presume that was a day
consulting with me, Carrie Wineland, they were friends. You know, they had every plan. And she never talked to me.
All right.
And Your Honor, and Mr. Griffith, the discovery is at the office.
No, the discovery was in my cell. I had it in my cell with me. So again, they were lying and they offered me a plea bargain for a criminal case that they never had gotten an indictment on. I mean, who would go and take a plea offer for something that they didn't do? Like, and that's the thing with Douglas Hanson and the company. They do things to people and they abuse the court system, and now I'm calling for him to resign as district attorney, and Big Lau or whoever he is, his boss, need to be aware of his behavior and his conduct through this whole thing. So please follow me as I uncover more corruption. I still have proof of Douglas Christopher Hanson corruption. He's been getting help through my very first public defender, Carrie Wineland, and I like to continue to go over my audio and transcripts, being that they won't be heard in court, or my upcoming trial, which is scheduled to take place this month on the 14th. So please bear with me. I have a whole lot to get out of there, and I'm going to do this quick and fast. So listen to this, how Carrie Wineland speak for district attorney when the judge specifically asked Douglas Hanson how we doing on the 60 days. He knew for a fact what Rule 7 means, indictment, and he never got an indictment, and I have proof.
This is 14C 14686.
19 versus Matthew Johnson. And this is on for Rule 7 today, Ms. Wineland.
That's correct, Your Honor. We'd like to set this over to June 10th. We waive prelim and continue to waive prelim.
How are we doing on the 60 days, Mr. Hanson?
And I think we'll be prepared to address that in our next court date.
The first appearance was May 19th, I believe. May 19th was the first court appearance.
The waiver of preliminary hearing, Rule 7 on the 10th. At 8:30 in the morning.
Thank you.
This judge was absolutely clueless of the facts and had no idea what the corruption behind the scenes between Carrie Wineland and Douglas Christopher Hanson was doing. So again, my preliminary hearings were stripped away from me through some illegal email that don't have a letterhead on it at all. And I'm wondering how and why none of the public defenders that has been assigned to my case has looked at the information for what it's worth. Now I'm needing the public's help. So please hear my call out. Again, I got trial coming up July 14th at 9 o'clock in the morning. So be there, because I will be. The evidence on Carrie Wineland keeps adding up to corruption to me. And not only that, she knowingly informed Douglas Christopher Hanson of my every court date. And I like to remind people that on several of these court dates, several of these different attorneys have left me hanging throughout the court dates. And it's been really stressful, but I've been man enough to stick through it. And now you got to hear the truth. And I like to remind you that she never, ever addressed it the 60 days in which she spoke for Douglas C. Hanson for on the last court date. Check this out.
I'm going to call Matthew Johnson, 14C42686. He is present out of custody, Your Honor. My client posted security and was released. At this time, I'd like to request that this case be sent over to July 30th at 1:30. I did send a request for a great deal of discovery, electronic discovery. In this case, I believe a search warrant is written for some cell phones, laptop computers. I've asked Mr. Hanson to provide copies of all that, and hopefully you've got it on your file, Gene, but I'm looking to get forensic copies of the hard drives and whatnot, so that's the reason I'm asking for a somewhat lengthier set of
July 30th.
Can I do copy of acknowledgement?
There was no reason for Carrie Wineland to ask for such a long period of time, being that she never went over that information with me. She left me to do all of the homework and all of the investigation, and I've taken it upon myself to do just that. And in the next court date, you will hear her ask for the same long period of time to go over something that she should have went over in this court date, but she chose to play around with my life, my family, me, my mental. So it's been a hate crime for a long time, and Carrie Wineland and Douglas C. Hanson thought that I was going to take their forced plea offer, which was for 5 years, and Douglas Christopher Hanson has hidden that plea offer. So I'm wondering what's going on with him and why he think that it's okay to play with someone's constitutional rights, being me, and strip me of everything and hold me accountable for a crime that I never committed. I like to remind you guys that Carrie Wineland has already asked the courts for a long, extensive time to go over evidence in which Roger Smith and other officers sent to her or the district attorney. And this information came from the cell phones that were taken from me and my wife, and the laptops that was taken from me and my wife, supposedly a USB drive that I had no clue my wife had in her purse. So please listen to how she get over on the court one more time, asking for them to give her more time to go over some evidence that she had asked to go over previously. And I'm not understanding why she did that, but I could tell you one thing: I never had an indictment formally until June 17, 2015, and it was processed October 16th, 2014, filed October 20th. You know, I got a whole bunch of different dates on how they got this indictment, which Jessica Kemphy revoked and made the district attorney go get, being is that they said that I verbally waived my preliminary hearing rights away. All this was done around them taking away my preliminary hearing rights. I like to keep that in mind on how far they got with the corruption. Listen to this judge ask about what's going on here.
May I please have a copy of the waiver of indictment? Thank you. Thank you.
Matthew Johnson, 14C4268. I believe this is our second Rule 7, but I'm asking the court to set this over to August 27th. There's a significant amount of digital evidence in the case that we have to go through.
August 27th, we're getting out there on this too, started in May. And you,
We did not receive the digital discovery until less than 30 days ago.
Okay. August 27th at 1:30.
She literally lied to the judge and said that she didn't get this stuff on time, but she said in her last court date that she got it and that she needed time. So about time she got to this court date, she asked the same thing that she asked from the last court date, forgetting that she did that, you know, and the proof is right here in the pudding, how I'm breaking it down to you guys. So I'm wondering why there wasn't no indictment on me, and I had 3 Rule 7s, and like this judge said, we getting out here on this, it happened in May. So what was their remedy in telling the judge that they needed more time was to tell them that they got a significant amount of evidence to go over, which is completely a lie. So follow me and be at my trial, because it's happening 2015, July 14th. So be there. This will be my last court day with Carrie A. Wineland, and I forced her to go to trial, and that's when she finally got off my case. And I'm wondering why, because I never had an indictment through the whole time with Carrie Wineland, and she knew that, and she went to court twice on Rule 7s, which means indictment for those of us who don't know what Rule 7 mean in their terms, you know. And they've been playing me for a long time now, and I've been stressed out about this. So when she actually got off my case and I got Jessica Kemphy, I thought I was in heaven, until me and Jessica Kemphy start talking on other things that happened with me and Carrie Wineland. I like to remind you that Carrie Wineland still waived my preliminary hearings, taking my voice away. She never ever talked to me about a preliminary hearing in her life. But when we went to court, she played like we did, and I supposedly waived it verbally, but there's no signature. There's no one showing up to a preliminary hearing in which a judge set out. I showed up, but the district attorney and Carrie Wineland, they didn't. So that means they have a warrant out for their arrest for not appearing in court. And I'm not seeing how they can keep getting away with this kind of corruption. So listen to this audio, and I will break it down further to you as I go.
You ready for that?
May I call Matthew Johnson?
Sure. Have a seat, Mr. Stutzman.
What?
Johnson. You ready for that?
May I call Matthew Johnson?
Sure. Have a seat, Mr. Stutzman. Johnson.
Yes, Your Honor. One file, 14C42686. Your Honor, at this time we'd like to enter not guilty pleas. We have pulled Judge Tripp and are scheduled for a status conference on September 29th at 1:30.
And Mr. Johnson, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf into the court record. It will be assigned to Judge Susan Tripp will be our trial judge. Have a status conference on September 29th at 1:30. And there's been a waiver of preliminary hearing up to this point. Ms. Wineland, are you still waiting, or are you ready?
We are, Your Honor.
We'll continue to waive preliminary hearing until the status conference date. Ms. Wineland needs to talk to you. Make sure you make yourself available to her, and so she can prepare for that status conference. And do not miss that status conference. You understand me? Okay, that'll be it today.
You hear a judge say waiver of preliminary hearing all the way up until my status conference date, which was September. And September 23rd, I want to give a clear understanding of what's going on here. And Carrie Wineland waived it and waived it and waived it, and she never progressed with it. She just bought time, and waiving my preliminary hearing was the wrong thing to do, because while they were waiving my preliminary hearing, they were still trying to prosecute my wife on the prostitution citation. So they got search warrants for one individual, but they used them for two of us. They used the search warrants that they got for my wife also for me, without having to go back to a judge to get search warrants for my phone again, because they had split up the charges and gave me promoting prostitution and delivery of an oxycodone within 1,000 feet, which meant that I had different elements to my crime. And these people eventually charged my wife, so that information should have got dismissed, but it didn't get dismissed. It got saved and hidden and brought and charged on me, and I'm wondering why that happened. And hadn't I took a plea offer like they wanted me to, then the state would have got away with the corruption. And I'm here to tell you that, like they say in their police reports, I expose faggot shit. And to me, this is what you call faggot shit, because I'm a human being, and for one, I never committed a crime against my wife. So therefore, if you saying that I committed a crime against my wife, why charge the victim? Not only that, why offer me a plea offer that says plead to the no contest of promoting prostitution and delivery of an oxycodone, but I'm still allowed to be around the victim? That doesn't make sense. So to me, it seems like the prosecutor, Douglas Hanson, wants a conviction just because, and I'm not willing to give him what he wants, because I'm totally innocent of all these charges. Follow me as I uncover more corruption. Well, my time will be up on this case, because I have trial coming up July 14, 2015 at 9 o'clock. So be there and see how the district attorney tries to prosecute me without having any victims or witnesses besides the police and sick confessions that they forced upon me. Thank you guys for following me through all this stressful, hard time. See you in court.